guys and to us as the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
We're live, by the way.
Thank you. Hi, live people. So we're also live on YouTube. So if you are a person that is in the witness protection program and needs to leave and not be heard, you're welcome to do that now. Just a disclaimer, we are streaming live, everybody.
Camera's on us, it's not on you.
Yeah, so back to our secret password. So our magic words are, and now our watch begins, but because we're doing a panel, we are going to say, and now our panel begins, because it is a panel. So everybody lift your glasses, your drink, your cups, your fake imaginary goblet. Raise your glass, and then we're going to say,
and now our panel begins.
All right, so quick introduction.
Yeah.
I'm Kate.
I'm Zach.
I'm Audie. I was late.
I'm Crystal. You can't see me live, people, but I'm there.
Right, and so we're going to be taking questions from you guys as well as on our YouTube channel. So we are going to be discussing today. I
have no idea what's happening there. Where's my broom?
Yeah, we're going to be discussing our love-hate relationship with season 7. Yeah, thank you. Keep it down. Turn that music down, you can't.
Get off my lawn.
Yes. So our love-hate relationship with season 7, and why do we think it happened the way we thought it happened? The best place to begin is at the beginning.
Yep.
So also, if you have not finished the season,
Who hasn't finished the season?
you may want. Okay, so we're going to be spoilers.
There will be spoilers.
We're about to spoil. Come on in. Everyone's welcome. Come on in.
Please. This is the
Everyone-
Walking Dead panel, if that's what you're looking for.
He didn't.
That's okay. We're loud.
We're loud.
all
We're loud
theater
enough,
people.
Flashback.
So if you have not seen it, the first episode, what happens is one of my favorite characters, I think, of the whole series, and I think the moral backbone of the whole storyline gets killed.
By this guy.
By Negan, and that's Glenn. So if you have not, Glenn is dead. Glenn is not coming back.
Yeah.
Real dead.
And real dead.
Now we can see your
He's
eyes.
dead. Oh, good job. He's
No,
gone.
he's not hiding
He
under
is
a
gone.
casket this
Drank
time.
No,
a lot
there's
to
not-
Glenn
Oh.
because that was extremely painful. Like we
Yeah.
just kept drinking to Glenn because some of our rules for our drinking games they can be seen online.
We can
online.
drink to Glenn. We can drink
We
to
can
Glenn.
drink
Everybody
to
raise your glass to Glenn. Glenn, thank you. We miss you.
Everybody
Glenn.
likes to skip over Abraham, so I'm going to give some props to Abraham too.
We're not there yet. We're not
just
there yet.
started.
We
My
just
bad.
started. And
Did I spoil somebody else?
No. I understand
Yeah.
Abraham was first, but is Abraham the most important?
Really? Why are you going to be a douche?
I think it just
Right. I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting.
We were promised one, and then we got two.
We got two. They doubled down on us, and I don't think that's anyway. So I mean, for me, Glenn was the most shocking death that happened in episode 1, and the reason is because he was one of the original 8 that we were introduced to in the series.
Yeah, in the first season he's there.
And the first episode, he's present, just his voice. So he's been the one person that has been with Rick for good or for bad, regardless of what Rick decided or where he was. Like, Glenn was always there. And even though maybe Rick made a bad decision or a bad choice, Glenn always did the right thing. Like, he always chose the right thing and not the easy thing.
Yeah.
So I think losing Glenn was a super big, significant part of the group dynamic. And for story-wise, I guess, it sends Maggie into a kind of a tailspin.
I think it was a difficult choice by the showrunners to kill Glenn. I don't know who reads the comic books, but in the comic books we know that Glenn dies. The problem. We always hoped that maybe he would survive. Yeah, and I think the reason for that being, I don't know how many people are Game of Thrones fans. I like to talk about this, but in Game of Thrones, there we go. In Game of Thrones, whenever they kill off main characters that are a central part of the plot line, they will develop the other characters first. They will bring forward the other characters, make you care about them, make you care about where they're going, about what's going on with them. And then then they kill off this other character that you've been with. So you're already emotionally invested in all the others, which means you have a reason to stay gripped onto the show. And I personally don't feel like characters like Rosita or Tara were enough to stand up to the death of Glenn.
Right. So I don't. So the people that were left over didn't balance out what we had lost.
And I think that's
And
why
Glenn.
Glenn's loss is such a huge deal for all of us.
Yeah, and like I said, Glenn would be able to help Rick navigate this whole season, and without Glenn having a straight and a centered mind and being able to see everything, because Rick is not able to do that, I think it sent. I mean, Rick was just lost in space.
And I think they did that to him on purpose because they removed all of his safety nets in this season. Carol is not there. She's off discovering herself. And Glenn is gone. Abraham, who is the strength, is gone.
Right, so let's talk about... So Abraham is the first person that died. And so I guess story-wise, to set up this season 7 of killing Abraham, now that we've seen the whole thing... Abraham is the strength, is the military kind of aspect that Rick could have used in the season to go against Negan.
Mm-hmm. All of his weapons, basically. I mean, he takes his gun last. He takes everything from him, all of his human weapons, and then he takes his gun. So Rick is literally left with nothing after that.
Nothing. And then so killing Abraham then sets us up for, go ahead. Sets us up for the Rosita storyline, which
Okay, who loves Rosita? Who's down with Rosita?
Oh,
Okay, we got two Rosita lovers in here. You're not going to like us.
It's going to be a tough room. It'll be a tough room.
So let me ask you this. What do you like about Rosita? Her attitude?
She bit the bullet. She went ahead and was awesome.
Okay, and why do you like Rosita?
Well, that number one, she's hot.
She's hot.
Okay, all right.
We'll go with that. That's fair. That's fair too.
That is fair. It is fair.
Those are two good points.
So Abraham leaving set up the storyline of Rosita and Sasha, and having them, and I guess kind of Tara.
Yes.
Setting her out by herself.
Who's a Tara lover? Who loves Tara?
Yeah.
All right, just kind of one
Okay,
and a half.
everybody's just sort
one
of.
and a half.
Right.
And so, Abraham, like I said, it was the brute strength that Rick really could have used this season, or at least his military advice on how to go about dealing with Negan.
And I think the reason for that being that Negan is such a military force. He is the kind of person,
Right.
He's gathered an army around him. He's got outposts. He's got a structure in place that would have needed somebody who knows how to deal with it. But then again,
I don't know about you guys, but I've always felt that either Rick or Carol had a better idea about how to go about, attacking someone than Abraham did. He never showed me anything really.
he was very much like a bull
I
in
think
a
he
china
was
shop.
pure
Like,
strength. There wasn't a lot of like.
It needed to be tempered.
strategic-
And
there wasn't strategy.
He was the
a
extreme.
tool.
He was the-
he was a weapon.
Not
He
in
was
an
a
insulting
tool.
way.
He wasn't,
in a way that he's being used. So, I agree with that. What's next?
No,
Well, there was the whole where they were moving the herd. He was involved with that with Sasha. But I think it has to do more with the storyline leading up to him being introduced. The whole story with Eugene and everything that he committed to for Eugene, I think that defines him a lot as this, force.
Yeah, I don't think Rick used him as a strategist.
I don't think Rick was very smart about using him. Yeah.
But had he been there when Negan arrived, I think Abraham would have spearheaded some type of effort in either trading the kingdom or getting other people. Abraham would have been a central part of that planning. Abraham and Glenn would have been central to that.
Towards the end of the season before, remember he was talking about this big time for him to step up and take the lead.
Yes, and I think they set us up for failure on that one. They just were like, let's build Abraham up as much as possible before we off him.
And I guess I just this question just popped into my head. Why do we think that Negan, if we're describing Abraham as a weapon, a tool, pure strength, why didn't Negan take him? you know, if he's not a strategist, instead he took someone like Daryl, who definitely is like.
Because I think Daryl made a mistake by showing his potential.
I think Daryl bucked up. I mean, he had to punish them because of Daryl's.
Right, because Daryl took out all those. Took out that blockade and all. So I think Negan saw the potential in Daryl, or he didn't really know Abraham. He just saw that he may be a powerful force that I could need to take out completely.
Yeah.
Or maybe he saw that he saw the potential of.
I'm calling her out because she's talking.
Go ahead. What?
Yeah, no.
We did this last night. No, we did this last night where we called people out because you're talking and not talking to us.
Yeah, exactly. Talk to us.
I was just saying because, okay, well, no, Negan actually was smart because he recognized the fact that Daryl really is the weapon in this situation. Okay? It's not only the other people, Daryl, that is his mind. And it is as Carol's.
Yeah.
But there.
So he's focused on Daryl. I have to contain this person because he is the most potential being.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
and Negan directly felt that potential. Mm-hmm. And that's what.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, completely.
And
Keep your enemies closer.
I wanted to address something that you actually started the cast off with in terms of Glenn being the moral compass within the show, and that's true at that particular stage. But I think one of the good things about the show is that's actually been a torch that's been passed on.
Yes.
From character
Yeah.
to character.
Dale, Herschel to Glenn. And Herschel actually passed.
I think Morgan's gonna be the next one.
Oh God. Okay. Sorry, too soon. We'll get there. We'll get to Morgan.
We got hated last night too because we didn't like this season, and other people were like, so.
Now, here's the thing. We really liked the story of the season. We just wish it had been presented a little bit better. There was a lot of lollygagging that we could have let's just move on. I don't need a whole episode of Enid and Coral walking down the road.
That Walking Dead is suffering from writer's creep here, or what?
We have a lot of opinions on Scott Gimple, and there was a lot of Scott Gimple bashing last night because I feel like he's not taking the show in a direction that is serving the fans right. I
don't think
we
he's
deserve
serving the
better.
fans of the TV show in that medium correctly.
And
Yeah.
and those people more than likely have the comic series.
Right.
in mind,
Correct.
So they're expecting more.
Right. Correct. So I guess that's the main. Those are the main two deaths that we had to deal with in episode 1. So episode 2 was episode 2 the RV trip.
No,
that
was still episode 1.
On the same day, Negan and Rick took an RV trip down to the local freeway where they found a mysterious mist that did not move anywhere. It just hovered over them for like 30 minutes, and a whole herd of walkers. And an axe. An axe was there.
That scene was difficult for us because why?
It's still there.
Why didn't Rick fight back? Does anybody have any theories on why Rick didn't fight back in that moment? Yes. We'll go right to you.
You think? So you think after Glenn and Abraham died, you think Rick was just like shook to the core and just?
Yeah, he was broken and took him time to recover.
Okay, that's a thought.
Let me know.
There's another one.
He didn't really want to die.
He didn't want.
He already seen, Abraham and Glenn with their, heads bashed in, and he didn't want to see anybody else get died.
Yeah.
He's just going to cooperate for now, and then, think about his strategy.
So he was assessing what was going.
You think he didn't actually roll over?
No.
You think he was still holding
A
on?
little bit of a state of shock.
Okay. So he.
They weren't expecting that because suddenly they're surrounded by the
But the truth is that the group itself has gone through some really horrible stuff over the last 7 seasons. So he lost Herschel. Herschel was huge for him, and he still didn't roll over. He still fought back, and I think this was a Scott Gimple thing. I feel like they should have made the choice in that moment for him to at least fight longer until the Carl.
But there was a
happened.
moment where. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say with Herschel was the only one really in the ink at that point. Versus the other time he had everybody.
You're right.
Correct.
Yeah, he was inside the walls. He was
Correct.
strong.
There was in the RV. There was a moment where Negan was clearly driving the RV. Clearly, Rick was not restrained, and clearly there was some type of weapon at arm's distance that Rick could have used to A, bludgeon or kill.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, why didn't Rick use that valuable moment to? Of course, the story has to continue. So without but it didn't make right. But it just did, as telling a story and directing, it just didn't make sense.
Come on,
That
let's face it, Rick fumbled the ball.
I agree.
Okay,
I
so
completely
yeah, that-
agree.
He didn't have his army around him. He had nobody. If you were going to take a shot at the guy, this was the time to do it.
Right.
Right, and I wish that the writers would have been really clear with, like, Rick is just like, well, I don't know what is going on, but they almost made him look too weak and not confused. Because I think being confused in this moment is completely fair.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going on. You don't know how people may be dying back there. You don't know we don't know where we're going. We don't know what. Right.
He doesn't know what strategies he needs to take at that moment. Because
Right.
He doesn't know Negan's people back there, what they do.
And that fight would have been win all or lose all.
Exactly.
So even to fight Negan and lose, he knew that would get his whole group killed. Yeah,
But
everybody.
I do feel like he's played fast and loose with the group's lives before. And this, multiple times.
And maybe he's learned from that. Maybe he's.
Yes, sir?
I would have thought that. I mean, Rick couldn't have done anything because his group was still being held at gunpoint back there. So if Negan didn't come back, somebody in that group was going to want to step up and everything.
Be the next
Right.
Negan.
Yeah.
Just going to go, oh, okay, we'll all just go meekly back to our corner. Something was going to happen.
Yeah.
That's
If they
fair.
didn't come back, they would die. Negan didn't come back.
That's
Somebody
fair.
died.
I guess from what we'll be right with you. I guess from what I know about Rick after so long and his strength and how he always manages to overcome what's going on around him, I had a little bit more faith in him that he'd be able to figure it out. Like,
Yeah. He wanted something to
I
happen.
know, we all wanted to stab Negan, right?
I'm sure that day there was a lot of like, just grab the axe.
Theater, because it made us feel it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that. Okay,
it-
that is true.
yeah.
That is completely 100% true.
That's true. It
We-
made us feel stuff.
I was very anxious of like.
I felt my feelings.
So, go ahead.
I think also that the writers wanted to show a little bit of the humor in Negan when he hits the.
Yes. Yes.
I think they want to kind of break to where Negan is not a ruthless killer. He has a little bit of a charm, charisma.
So much charm and charisma.
Too much charm.
I need my fan. Where's my fan? I'm drinking.
So I mean, and I think, and I don't believe that Rick was broken just yet.
I think the breaking happened when they told him to cut off Carl's arm.
Do you think so? Back in the camp, do you
I
think
think
that
he was still biding his time, like everybody said. I think he was going to make a move once he knew he was there with his people, back with his people. But I think that him telling him to cut off Carl's arm, I think that was the end of it. I think that was the most difficult thing.
But at the same time, I think that he was trusting in his son.
Yeah,
You
and
know, and you did see that, right? I mean, with the eye contact
Mhm.
and almost the unspoken communication between the two of them, and his son being like, "I got this, Dad.
Mhm.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Do what you
Yeah.
gotta do."
I kind of wish it had happened, not because I want to see Coral maimed, but
How much
because-
more maimed can he be?
I know. I
I
know.
mean, he could have one less hand.
One less hand.
Take his leg too.
His
and
leg.
just finish it
He
off.
just talks with a lisp now. Just all kinds of things. I mean,
So speaking of cutting off someone's hand, are they ever going to get around to cutting off Rick's hand?
Comic book spoiler. I think that moment was all we're gonna get as far as hands go. I think that was an allusion they did to what happened in the comic books, but I don't think we're gonna.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
they keep telling us. Yeah.
Yes.
A couple other things with his hand, but nothing.
They keep
I think
trying.
the showrunners are like,
Do you think it's because they don't want to have to deal with the CGI?
CGI budget. That's what it is.
I just wanted to ask, when Negan asked Carl to sing something, was anybody else thinking, well, Jackie John?
I was thinking Easy Street.
No!
That's what I was thinking.
Panic button.
No. So I think in that scene with the RV in the mist, I think Rick assessing that Negan wasn't the governor, that Negan was highly intelligent, and that this was something we have never seen before, and that he was to survive to go back to the group and go, guys, we got to lay low. Because this is something we have to really look and assess and see what's going. This is not the governor with Mulberry coming over with pitchforks and light torches. They are.
I think he was broken.
You really think he was?
I think he was. I think he was broken, and he was like, you know what? We can't do this with this guy. We have to do what he wants. And then throughout the season, he got Rick again. He was like, oh wait, just kidding.
Okay, yeah. We can talk about that. We can talk about how slow the first half of the season was.
So let's talk about Tara then. So Tara goes to Seaside. Oceanside, Ocean Spray, Harbor Mist, whatever you want to call it.
And
Well, that's the kingdom. They have cobbler in the kingdom. Here they have cornbread and stew.
Cornbread and stew.
And so this is the group I have the issue with. I don't understand as writing the show. What point did we have to? We lost Heath in this whole thing, and Tara went through this whole ordeal with walkers on the bridge just to get there.
That was a good scene. I enjoyed that.
That was exciting.
Sequence.
We're getting somewhere, and when we get there, there's no payoff.
Yeah, nothing happened in Oceanside. It's possible that Oceanside will come back later, but
not yet. We have not got a payoff yet. We got their guns.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. This season was very much like, for any Harry Potter fans, it was very much like Deathly Hallows Part 1. It's very like, let's dance in a tent and just hang out and travel to where we need to go. So hopefully next season will be like Deathly Hallows Part 2, which is just full-on war, only violence. That's what I want from my Walking Dead.
And I think the other problem with this season was that there were so many good, like, just nuggets of like, ooh, I could see where that would be interesting or that could be compelling, and then it wasn't.
I mean, what I was interested in, and I'm still interested in, is the way that the map is actually, the universe is expanding. So we're getting to see other groups in this universe. It's just that these groups aren't really bringing anything better to the table than what we already have.
Yeah.
Well, they did bring a tiger.
Right?
Yes.
Into it. And Jerry.
Fat Jerry. Yes, we love Fat Jerry.
We drink for Fat Jerry every time.
Other than just guns, what does Oceanside have to,
I think it's just, as far as this season goes, Oceanside's only purpose was to tell us the horrifying story of what happens to people that stand up to Negan, and I think you said that.
And they...
I also think it was that way how they're going to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and so my excuse was they could have put a bunch of guns in a pickup truck and put a sticky note that said Oceanside, what happened to us, and then that would have been enough. Because that's basically all it was.
It didn't need a whole episode.
Yeah, it was just a vehicle to get us the guns. And that's just not a way to. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Eliminate that altogether.
Exactly.
I just think that was a poor way to expand the universe and bring new characters, but didn't. And then they make Tara go out there of all people, not Michonne, not someone we like to want to discover new things, just some. You're laughing at me.
Not the one we liked, but Tara.
Honestly, Tara's my least favorite.
And I know as an actor, she probably asked for more story, and they probably want. But they just, I don't know, guys.
And we even got like a little, and now this is part of the problem of the Nights of the Drunk Watch is I'm a little hazy on some of the episodes. But when we go back to Oceanside to get the guns, and the cruise zombies show up, and like they kind of like there are a few of them that band together and kind of kick ass, and it's like, oh, okay. This is what they can do.
They have potential, I agree.
But they're like, but never mind, bye. And it's just like,
and I guess the only thing that Tara had to hold on to for the season was like the secret that she had to keep from Rick's group, and how far would she go with that secret?
Yeah.
And keeping it, how long would she? I was just.
Now, I really enjoyed the Kingdom. I think that was a great addition to the world. I like Ezekiel. We're all theater people, so we guessed him right away. We're like, this guy was a drama teacher or something.
I like the one Negan says, He's got a tiger.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
I think my favorite line is Carol's, where she's like, I don't know what's happening in the most wonderful way. That was totally me during that whole episode. I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's great. I'm enjoying it greatly. So I did enjoy the addition of the kingdom. I do think that they did enough with the poisoning of the pigs, with all of that. I think that that's going to play a big part. And you could see how they're moving into being a part of the war against Negan.
Yes.
Oceanside, not so much.
No. And the kingdom had a better backstory. Mm-hmm. We know their history of what has happened to them before. We know they've had issues with, Negan knows the kingdom, and the kingdom knows Negan. And they, have to make drop-offs at a separate place. So we know all these things about the kingdom, whereas other places, they don't give us those small little nuggets to
and
really...
the kingdom had a lot of really compelling characters. I really liked the king. I thought that the whole Richard storyline was interesting. Was that his name, Richard?
Oh, Richard.
I thought that he was at least interesting. He was the new Spencer, but he was at least interesting.
Oh, we didn't need new Spencer. We just got rid of old Spencer.
Oh, God, Spencer.
He went in the best way. Spencer had to go in the best way.
That was great.
He had no guts.
That was great. That was a great death.
That was good. Spencer can go again.
Yeah. No, Olivia, that was sad. Who was sad about Olivia? We were all sad about Olivia.
Oh, the whole
Shade.
I'm
throwing shade on you.
Olivia was the one that kept the books for the pantry, if you don't remember. That's how much, whatever. We'll have to keep the numbers better next time. Yeah, I mean, she was sweet, but she was dispensable.
But she was more compelling than anybody that I met at Oceanside.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so,
The Oceanside had so much opportunity there. I mean, if they done anything else with it, they really did miss out.
It was it was a waste, yeah.
They were attacked in a different place, then
they moved.
ran to Oceanside. So that kind of proves that escape from the Saviors is possible.
Right.
So you can
Escape and hide.
regroup from
Right.
enough to
That's true.
properly regroup.
And they had the tiniest storyline of they killed all our men.
And that could have been so
And that's
compelling.
all they talked about. That's it. They said it one time. They killed all our men and our boys 15 and up.
Passion to go, okay, we want to band with you. Now we've got some numbers. Let's go get some revenge.
Yeah, and they have guns. They have the guns. They have the guns. They have what everybody needs is missing is the guns. And I don't.
And now we're gonna get to your favorite group.
Oh no! Oh my
The
God.
prepositionless. What are their names?
The scavengers.
Who enjoyed the scavengers being added?
Anybody?
Yes,
one
we have a
person.
scavenger lover back there. What did you like about the scavengers? They're so weird. They're just weird. It was very left field. Very Mad Max. Yeah. It's like Mila Jovovich got really ugly and went to Mad Max.
Oh.
That's what Jadis looks like. She looks like ugly Mila Jovovich. Sorry.
What I don't understand about the scavengers, I don't understand why Rick was so easy and pressed to make friends with these people when in the past he's very skeptical with everybody. I mean, we remember that Rick had the role of ask them the questions, how they answered the questions. And now, we're their friends. Hi. Oh, you want to go up there? Come on, we'll go up there. Like, he just followed Jadis. It didn't make any sense.
He was very not Rick this season. And I think that's what threw off the entire season is you're expecting certain things because you've grown with this character from the very beginning. You think you know at least in part what he's going to do or what you think he should do, and he didn't do any of those things.
There was zero vetting of them.
I think it was mostly because of how the season started. I think all of that was still on his mind. It was still weighing in his head, and even though, so when he was going to get the guns, then it's like, we need the guns for y'all. And he wanted them to help him because they are strong.
And he was very Negan in that scene, wasn't he? The way that he showed up, and one of our other panelists was talking about this last night. It was very Negan, his entrance, the way that he did it. But the major difference between Negan and Rick was his preservation of human life. Like, Negan is like, well, whatever, I don't like you, I'm going to kill everybody.
Right.
But Rick is very like, okay, I need the guns, I'm taking them, but I'm going to try not to kill all of you while I do it. So nice.
He's so lovely.
Right.
But back to the scavengers, Rick, I know he needed the numbers, but he did not put any vetting into this group at all. He walked in, shook a hand, and then
fought a zombie.
This lady threw him in a pit with a zombie that could have totally just killed him in front of Michonne, got out, and then still shook her hand on a deal. Like, I just don't understand.
Wasn't he grinning?
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Yeah, he was smiling.
And it was just a weird twist to Rick. I have never.
On a suicidal mission.
It was just a weird twist side of Rick. I just.
No, he was like, I'm in charge. I've got control of this. I can handle it.
No, I don't know.
I didn't see that desperation from Rick. Hey, we really need y'all. We really need. He didn't plead his case. He didn't. He just acted too casual.
I think with the importance that they placed on the first episode, the importance of Glenn's death, the importance of Abraham's death, was not felt throughout the rest of the season. It's like the consequences just dissipated and everybody was like, maybe we'll go to war. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I was like, where is the group? I need them to rally and murder somebody.
Yeah, and I mean, y'all can all attest to how I felt the first time we went to the scavengers. I told everybody, I do not trust this woman. This woman has already deceived Rick once, and he's fallen literally for it. And the haircut.
And the dialogue. Like, it's been
yes.
3 years since the zombie apocalypse. Why is our language all of a sudden
everything
crazy?
just seemed too easy and too shady, and it seemed too shallow, and Rick just went with it, and I knew something was going to come out of this that is negative.
I think the haircut was the most distracting.
If that's a new trend, I'm gonna have a problem.
So, I mean, how does everybody feel about the expansion of the universe? The mass expansion that happened this season. Like, we almost doubled our towns.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the scavengers are the show's version of the Whisperers. 2 seasons too early.
Well, I know that's a comic book thing, but actually, from what I understand, the Whisperers are still coming. They're saying they're still gonna come.
They should. They absolutely should.
And I don't feel like the Scavengers are strong enough to be the Whisperers. Yes.
I guess the thing with the expansion is, like, I like the fact that that we know that there are other people trying to survive this great zombie apocalypse. But just to piggyback off of what you said, I mean, it's only been 3 years since this has happened, and even if I'm no clinical psychologist, but even if you factor in a certain amount of trauma through any survivor, again, with the scavengers, with that whole preposition, as you said, the whole prepositionalist. But even by extension, Richard, like, okay, dude, you're a zookeeper, you're speaking an old English in Virginia. I mean, like that, like, it doesn't fit. I mean, within the crux of things. And, like, I understand you wanting to people rallying to you because you seem like you control the title. Okay, I might follow that guy around for what wants to. But at the end of the day, I mean, I would think that something. I almost think as a fan of the show, it's getting to the point to where I'm not able to buy in.
It's too fantastical.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Too fantastical.
They're trying to bring a little Game of Thrones in there.
And I don't know that the show necessarily needs it. I still enjoy it. I'm still going to watch, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. I think the character development that we had with the established characters we had coming into it was enough. Let's work off of that without getting into beginnings.
And so they kind of.
At the same time, that could be because of touching on the psychological mindset of all of these people that are surviving. That's their way of surviving. That's their mental mechanism to be able to escape reality.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. I mean, it could be that.
Yeah.
Fantastical as it is, it could just be as simple as this is this guy's mental state, and this is the only way that he can get through this, and other people are drawn to him, and that's how they survive.
So, since we're talking about character development, who's a Carl lover? Who loves Carl? Coral? I like Coral. Anybody? Oh, what is up with the Coral hate in these panels? Nobody likes Coral.
Father-son duo downstairs or somewhere around.
Yeah,
we saw him. I
chasing
saw
Coral all around. They're great. They're going to be doing a video on our channel, actually. So, no, I think that Coral was a huge missed opportunity this whole season.
Again, like another, just like they gave us a little bit of him, like
I am
kind of
ready
stepping
for
up
some
and
badassery
going.
from Coral. Like, why is he not stepping up?
And I had just said that to him. It was like, well, my take on this whole season, it's a build up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
But he wasn't. I feel like he wasn't the focus enough.
No, but it's the build up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
The allowing Rick kind of stepping back, not his normal self.
Yeah.
Now his son is seeing this and slowly stepping up. And gonna step up.
He definitely did. I mean, some of my favorite Coral moments this season was when he was defending Judith's formula. Like, he is the part of Rick that didn't break. He almost had his hand chopped off. He saw the exact same things that Rick did. He's been with Glenn longer. He's been with Glenn longer than Rick was. He was with Herschel. He was with everybody. So he's lost everybody along with Rick. But Carl was not broken. So I still don't get all the Coral hate because I think he was better than Rick in this season. I think he was stronger.
I expect more.
Yeah.
I think Carl was more badass than Rick.
Yes, oh yes.
And I know Rick had a lot in his mind, you know, he's trying to protect everybody.
Uh-huh.
It was major.
I think Coral is a lot more like Daryl than he is like Rick or Shane. Yep. I went there. No.
I don't know.
That's funny though.
I think Coral will think that.
And I think
Coral
he's
think
there,
that.
but he's not there yet.
I don't think he's
I'm
there
not
yet.
saying he's there yet, but I think that Coral has the
I
potential
think
as one of the best characters.
Coral
in the show.
made some decisions as a child still that could have really affected the group in a, getting on that truck and going to Negan's camp. Yeah, it was bad, but it also could have got everybody killed.
And then what is his not the actor, but what is the character's age supposed to be?
Anybody know exactly how old he's supposed?
Yeah, I think Brittany said it last night.
Well, that's in the show. In the show, he's still. I mean, in the comics, he's still really young. But the show, you're gonna age a year.
Yeah, I think he's like he's 18 now. He's going to college, I think.
The actor's 18. I think he's playing him maybe as like 16 because he's starting to have those hormonal bursts. You know.
Yep.
Right
yep.
on the show, yes.
Yeah, I feel like they're giving Carl things, and that maybe I mean him get, and then if it wasn't sentences,
Finish your
if
sentence.
it wasn't for Jesus to come and help Coral through, Coral would have gotten killed. He would have gotten killed.
Jesus is my favorite new character.
Jesus to really go off.
I am ready for
Can we
some
talk
Jesus
about the
action.
Hilltop and like Maggie and Jesus?
Yeah, let's talk
Okay, so
about
Hilltop. Let's talk. Yeah, we're gonna go to Hilltop.
We
That's
all hate
fine.
Gregory,
Oh,
right?
Gregory is the
Yeah,
worst.
We all agree on Gregory.
He needs to die so
But
bad.
he is going somewhere, and I think that somewhere may lead into the Whisperers.
And I like the actor. I love to hate Gregory because
yeah.
that actor is
He's
superb.
fabulous.
He's a great actor.
I don't want him to leave just because I like watching him be squirmy and wormy and like Maggie just manipulate him every. It's great. I'm excited to see Maggie step up. I guess in a way Maggie has usurped Gregory's power, and Gregory's just kind of like the face of Hilltop when Simon comes in and takes their whatever. So Gregory's still there. That way they can kind of uphold it.
So he has to kneel, but not Maggie.
Right, Maggie is the true ruler on the side.
Waiting for Gregory to run out of alcohol.
Oh yeah.
He just has it like stored under. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good
Specs.
question.
I think they
you
hit
had
up
specs.
Yeah.
Zombie specs.
Yeah, zombie.
Why are they not stealing booze? Because
I would steal
if
booze.
I was in the apocalypse, I would be drinking all the
I feel like you need all all your senses prepared for anything.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of time to like sit around and drink and watch
and be
TV
fumbling
during
when
the
comes,
zombie apocalypse.
yeah.
Like we would
You'd
not
be out
do
of a
well.
job. That's what happened.
But I do like Hilltop as well. I mean, it's not really an introduction of a new place, but I
But
like
they stepped
the
up this
development.
season.
Yes.
They all stepped up this season,
And
except for Gregory.
They didn't have a tiger. They didn't have any fancy stuff. It was just a good group with an interesting plot line, which kept me riveted. I was very interested in what they were gonna do with Gregory. I love the sequence with the burning car or the burning
That
boat or
was good, yeah.
whatever. I think there was a lot of excitement going on there. And I also think that it's important that when the group finally came back together halfway through the season, they
And they're
got
all
together
walking and singing.
at Hill. Yes, they did a lot of group walking in this one because we were drinking for every group walk. But I think it was important that they met at Hilltop. I think that is going to be their new base over Alexandria
think
in
so?
the fight against Negan. Yes.
It's really small.
It's small, but it's easier to defend somewhere
That's
small
true.
than it is Alexandria,
That's
which has
probably
been
true.
invaded multiple times.
Probably
by
has
the
holes
wolves,
everywhere.
by the
Yeah.
zombies,
That's
by
true.
everybody.
You're right. Yeah.
So if you're gonna go somewhere, go to the fortress. So
Yeah. So that's Hilltop. I guess. I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen at Hilltop with Maggie and Jesus in charge now, and Gregory's kind of just.
and I'm just loving Jesus. I just think he's a
Yeah,
great
I like
addition.
Jesus.
We call him Rock Me Sexy Jesus because he's just the best. He has
Just
the
long-
prettiest eyes.
You got a drink now.
Okay, so I have I don't know if y'all got to this yet, but like we asked in Game of Thrones, for Walking Dead, what is the end game?
You know what? That's funny. That's actually a really closely guarded secret by Robert Kirkman because he has an ending in mind, and a lot of, from what I understand from the interviews, have to do with how the zombies came about in the first place, which we get a little bit of in Fear the Walking Dead, but not much. It's still like, oh, they're there. So we got a Fear
Not
the
a
Walking Dead
fan.
hater.
Not a fan.
So I'm excited to see what it is, but they have given us no hints. So either all the humans are going to die or the zombies are going to be cured. That's my yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Robert Kirkman is still writing.
I read that Robert Kirkman has about 3 more seasons already written.
3 seasons.
I
Well, as
believe
long
that.
as Scott Gimple doesn't put his dirty
Oh,
fingers in
God.
there, then we'll do great.
Scott Gimple. What can we do with Scott Gimple?
If y'all don't know, Scott Gimple is the showrunner that's been running the show
He's
for the
in
last,
charge
like,
over
4
there
years.
of the show, and so.
And Robert Kirkman is obviously the writer of the comic
He's the creator.
books.
Yeah. So we have to talk about Carol. Carol is a big.
Carol, whose favorite character is Carol? Because that's my favorite character.
I'm Team Carol. Carol can do
Oh, yeah.
no wrong in
Except die.
That's
She
not even
could
her
die.
fault. She's gonna die like a badass.
She's
She's
gonna
gonna
take
die
out
with fire and blood and glass and
On the
nails.
back of a
I am
on the back
ready
of
for
a
her to
tiger.
ride
I
a
mean,
tiger.
You're gonna have to double tap that. You know why? Because she's gonna be like badass. She's gonna have. I'm ready.
And I think we wouldn't have.
And baking
and
cookies at
that.
the same time.
I don't think we would have had this season if Carol had been involved. I think Carol would have been the largest force behind Rick saying, we cannot let this stand. We have to be strong. We have to go to them now. Because think about what she did at Terminus. By herself with her poncho. Like, just her, killed everybody. So
Right.
I don't see a reason. And that is the only reason that Carol is off on her soul-searching mission. Is because
We need to wrap
she
it
would have
up, Carol.
changed.
We need to wrap it up.
Yes.
We need to
Thank
I
you.
really do believe that Carol is Rick's secret weapon, just lying and waiting.
She's his tiger.
Yeah, no, yeah, really, for real. And I hope that she can get King Ezekiel in gear to
He
get
is in gear. He's all over her.
To get-
he is on her.
get that army going. Let Carol teach everybody hand-to-hand combat and bomb making, and let's just get this
poncho
done.
sewing.
And poncho sewing, and let's get
And
it
cookie
done.
baking.
Cause
There you go.
She's the whole
I mean,
package.
I understand she needed a little break, but let's get it together.
And who's a Carol Daryl shipper? Anybody? Anybody's a Carol Daryl shipper?
Yes. what-
I
yeah,
am down
yeah,
with that. I will
don't-
ship it.
I don't
We
know.
wanna- I can't even with you.
I like both of them. Okay, so talk
Yeah.
about speaking of Daryl, let's go to Daryl now.
Daryl, Easy
Daryl
Street.
Oh God, the sandwich storyline is what I called it because everywhere
The
he went, there were sandwiches. Everywhere he went, there was always talk about sandwiches and pickles. I don't know what the deal with pickles and sandwiches were with Negan's group.
Again, Daryl extremely underused this season. Extremely.
Because they were trying to serve you Tara and Rosita.
Yeah, they tried hard with Tara and Rosita this season, and I don't think any of us really bought it that hard.
Nor one of the show's most popular characters for an entire season.
Exactly.
Two of them.
Exactly.
Like
It's
two
like
of them.
having no Jon Snow in an entire season of Game of Thrones.
I'm ready for a Daryl Carroll season.
So
Yes.
we just
Sign
had to,
me up.
we had to earn it.
Well,
Is
we had to
basically
go
what you're
earn
saying.
it.
We
Trial
had
by
to earn
fire.
the next season with this
Bring it
season.
on. If it's just Daryl and Carol all season long,
I will
kicking
watch it.
ass, sign me. I'm ready. I'm ready. I will watch
Into
the hour and a half, 18 episodes.
Yeah.
Let's
Now,
do it.
I did find it interesting, and I think it's going to be interesting in the future in the development of Daryl's character, who is he's a blank slate. We know nothing about him because he doesn't exist in the comic books. So he's the wild card. Whatever they do with him is going to be. Daryl does not exist in the comic books. Yeah. So.
And kill him off, but not.
Yeah,
Right.
him and Merle were a one-off in the first season, so they got rid of Merle, but Daryl just survived.
Well, he's Norman Reedus. Right.
Right.
But I do think it's going to be an interesting part of his character going on from now, because he's always been like this lone wolf. He's always been on the fringes. He's like, well, I can stay with you or I cannot, whatever I want to do. But I think that the guilt that he feels for Glenn's death.
That scene in the cellar when Maggie's like,
Oh,
"Come
God,
here,
that
come here!
was
We
so
gotta like get through this." I was like, "Oh God!"
Oh my
no.
gosh.
It was like really heart
We were
wrenching.
drinking a bit. But I think that that's going to play a big part in solidifying Daryl's loyalty to the group and in his role in the war. It's possible he will do everything to sacrifice himself for the group
That's what
because
scares
he
me.
has that guilt.
That's what's scary.
I want to say Norman Reedus is untouchable, but
Did y'all think he made the right decision by not telling Carol when he went to see her?
No.
No.
No. I'm sorry.
that
Carol's a big girl. She can handle.
was a contrived
But
plot.
you know what? I think
they
Carol-
didn't want Carol in there
I
yet.
think Carol could.
They're just stalling.
But Carol's a smart woman, and I think Carol looked in his eyes and knew.
Something wasn't right. That's
Right. He just didn't want to vocalize it. I think they connected and like she knew something happened. Just don't tell
But
me
I
I
think
can't.
also for a little bit she probably thought she was going to allow herself to believe the lie. Like I
No,
think
yeah.
she knew it was a lie, but she heard he said what she wanted to hear,
Yes.
and
Yes.
she was like, "Great, that is my new truth." Yeah.
Follow through with the trust.
Because when she got the news, she kind of took it, accepted it, and was like, next scene. Like she didn't even like break down. There was no emotion. It was like, oh, she.
she was ready to fight.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, she was like, it was all
Then she strapped
internal.
up and was ready to go.
It was all internal. Yeah.
I think they pushed that whole thing so they could have that stupid plot line with Richard and make all that happen.
What
for
was
some
Richard
reason.
thinking that we're gonna take out this lady in this house? What part?
And telling Daryl.
Carol about it, and we're all
I'm gonna
sitting
kill
there.
your best friend. That's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
What lady? Her name is Carol. That was it. That was done. That storyline was over.
There is nothing that Daryl won't do for her.
So okay, now next to the controversy of Eugene.
Eugene, the one character that became more interesting this season. I think.
That is true. I will give you that. That is true.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's fine.
no,
No, yeah. So you said.
I mean, we've had this debate so many
Yep.
times, and I think I am on every corner of this debate every time we talk
You gotta pick a
about
side.
it.
You gotta pick a side.
I know I don't. I can do what I want. And but it's the debate of Eugene is now with the Saviors, but is he has he turned or not?
Who thinks by show of hands that he has given up on the group and has turned?
I think
Okay.
It's all about calculus with him.
Okay.
As soon as the
That's
tipping
what I-
point goes back to the group, he'll switch sides.
That's what I think.
But so what you're saying is that in his mind he is there because he is benefiting from it and he is completely
He's there
abandoned.
because he thinks he's safer there.
And he's abandoned the other
Social
group.
Safety is involved. So as soon as he thinks that Rick's group finally has the upper hand, he'll switch back.
But do you think they'll take him back?
What?
Do you think they will take him back?
I think they will.
I think he has to do something in order to be taken back, yes?
Well, I mean, somewhat counter to that, first off, Eugene wasn't given a choice. Like, they took him. So for him, he is just surviving. And I think he's been very key to this point in terms of, yes, technically he's been accepted by the Saviors and he's with them. But if you look at it, he's never done anything directly to harm the group at all to this point. Yes, he's fortified their fortresses and
he helped
systems
Sasha.
there. Right. And
He helped Sasha.
So the guys, I mean, more or less he's a double agent. I mean, it's pretty much how I see it.
But he'll only act if he thinks he won't get hurt.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah. So what kind
Yes.
what kind of double agent is that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because-
1.5 agent.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I agree with that.
He said, Eugene's not survival. He first meets Abraham in Houston, and then he says, I'm part of the Eugene Project. When he is captured by the Saviors, and then I'm part of the Eugene Project. And so, that, in a way, that's kind of how Eugene survives. Whoever he's with, or whoever
And
he picks the strongest
he's
player
so
and he attacks
smart
himself
and he is so calculating.
That whole jar of pickles episode was genius. Even though it dragged a little bit and Zach was really bored, I thought that the development of Eugene in that it was just very is he, isn't he? I'm really interested.
But I can see where that's going to maybe his downfall. I can see where if and when Rick's group takes over the Saviors, maybe Rick's not going to let him back in, or maybe someone else is not going to allow him to come back.
I think he would have to do something pretty major.
But what can Eugene do that's major?
No, what I mean is he would have to do something majorly to betray them. Right now he hasn't done
and we
anything to
already
betray
know,
them.
one of his character traits is
There was that.
He's
That's
really good
gonna be
at
very
gathering
interesting.
information because, even though he wasn't what he said he was at the beginning, he was very well able to convince people that he was this doctor because he was a janitor there and he had gotten all the information.
Right, he got the lingo on there.
And so if he is able to do the same thing with the Saviors and become kind of this, right hand man, I think he's climbing the ladder of the Saviors, and just the only thing I don't know is, he's there and he's with them because they're stronger, but in his heart of hearts, does he still want to go back to Alexandria or not? Yeah. And I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I mean, I think he does because he could be himself there.
I don't think he does because that is a place of weakness right now. I think if they were still as strong as they were before.
I think he's being himself now. I think that's.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, that's true.
When he was a janitor, I bet you if he was to meet someone in a bar or whatever,
He was really strong.
he had a good story.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Somebody in the back.
I think part of it is that he's getting respect now for the Saviors. They were like, he knows stuff,
Oh, that can.
continue to stay on,
Yeah.
Negan's side. He knows what he has to do.
Huh.
To stay cool with everybody. So
Yeah.
he's getting
Okay.
respect. He's moving up. And the other group, they don't really respect him a lot. He's what
Right.
the weak one. He's the coward. He's,
Yeah. That's smart too. Yeah, that could easily.
That's a good. I like that.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
See?
But
Every
Negan
time we
is
talk
Ne-
about
It changes.
Every time there's no solution, we're just I don't know.
We're fine.
But
Thank you,
okay,
Five.
well let's talk about Negan really quickly.
Well, I was talking about Sasha, but go ahead and talk about Negan.
Okay, Sasha's
Oh,
zombie,
what's
whatever.
the question on?
Well, it's from Rachel.
Hey,
Hi,
Rachel.
Rachel.
She says, what do you think Jada was going to do with the 10 people Negan promised her after the fight? Breed more junkyard kids?
Yeah, the
or
Jada's-
do the scavengers for Negan?
The Jada's 10 people deal was interesting. She betrayed all of these new people that could have been potential allies and strong allies to her for 10 people.
10. She said 12.
And then
She
Negan
got
was
10.
like 10.
I mean, she clearly was going to make slaves out of some kind of prisoner slave.
But it
that
doesn't
she-
seem like anybody in the junkyard people is a slave. Like everybody's just there of their own accord.
Maybe they all have lobotomies for all we know. They can't talk
That's why
like
their
it.
voices
They
all
talk
over.
like it. Lord knows. We don't know what she does. Probably gives them some kind of mercury or something and just makes them all
arsenic.
scramble. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Sorry, Rachel. I wish I had answers for you.
Lawrence becomes Soylent Green.
They're gonna become.
Oh.
They're gonna eat them. I don't know if we're gonna go back to more cannibals, but I don't feel like I have had enough cannibals. I need more cannibalism in the show.
So yeah,
I need it.
You say on Saturdays, I need more cannibals.
I just
in
need
my
more
life.
cannibals.
More barbecue.
I need more barbecue.
Yeah.
Less cobbler. More barbecue.
So you want to get to Negan? So let's get real quick to Negan.
Yeah, let's
just
talk about
lightly
Negan
touch
as a
him.
character.
Let's just lightly touch him.
I wanted to. I'm gonna drink. So here's my theory on Negan. From a writing standpoint, I think that the character of Negan is not as strong as he should have been because this character relies entirely on Jeffrey Dean Morgan's charisma. That they give you nothing about Negan. They don't give you even a tiny little bit of information that you can hold on to for him to be human in some way. We only ever see one side
I
of him.
still think that's part of his strength.
You've seen the human side of him when Carl came in and with the guns and everything and back
Judith. But it sure was creepy when they sat down and had dinner with Olivia, though.
That was fairly creepy.
super. He was playing pretend, that's true.
But he was establishing his dominance.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think it was showing his human side because we were all creeped out.
And we were scared for them, even if he...
Oh, look, he could make eggs. It was like, oh, he's still going to murder them.
Yeah.
And he did. He killed Olivia afterwards.
Dead weight, get rid of her.
Oh, there it is. No, it's okay.
Oh, you're fine. Listen.
It's okay. But I feel like they could have given us a tiny hint.
And I
more.
think part of the problem is that he made such an entrance. There
What
was
a great
no
entrance.
build up. You know, with the governor, there was a build up. There was a build up. You know, with all the herds and zombies, there's a build up. But with Negan, there was just bam. He just came in.
Bad as
And then it
swinging.
kind of just fizzled the rest of the
So
season.
you think they introduced him up here and then sent him where to go?
Yeah.
To give Negan sort of a backside. It's only just happened.
That's what, yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
He asked, who do we hate more?
See, I hate the governor more, but only because of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the actor who plays Negan.
Yeah.
I think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is so great and so handsome and so charismatic that he is the
Thank you, too.
entirety of this character. Like he's what the whole character relies on.
And the governor, I think, was very human. Because we saw, you know,
The daughter.
the reason why he was the way he was, and he had a daughter, and he thought maybe they could change the walkers, and we thought we could do this. He had a doctor working on this, and so he had a plan that I can kind of see the humanity of why he was so controlling.
Even it was screwed up.
Right, it was
something.
misguided.
I think we kind of have to hate the governor more because we don't have any information about Negan. There's not enough to hate there yet, other than he's just like
A bully.
He's got Lucille, yeah. And
He's a bully with a scarf.
Yeah.
Bergman has written that in. It's just that it's very, very recent.
Yeah.
And it's a long way away from where they are in the show.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We have plenty of reasons to hate him. I mean, that's
I agree.
true.
I agree.
We got a couple. All right, so
Any last minute quick questions that we can answer very quickly?
What do you think about Dwight?
Oh God.
I think
Did we need another Daryl? Like, did we need
Daryl
poser
light.
Daryl? Yeah,
Daryl
Daryl. Only
light.
1 calorie.
Jeez.
Daryl with only 1 calorie. I'm hoping for big things for Dwight. I know a few. I'm not going to spoil anybody, but I know a few of the spoilers from the comic books. So I'm hoping for good
he
things.
needs to get.
I think he's ready to jump ship. You said this last night. I
Yeah.
think Dwight is all about getting out.
Yeah.
I don't think he is Negan. I don't think he wants to be Negan.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's not ready to get out. If he wanted to get out, he wouldn't have betrayed.
But he went to Rick. The very last thing he did is he went to Rick and he said, "I'm going to help you."
And he left that little.
And he left the
that little-
pretzels. The pretzels for his wife.
And he left the soldier thing to warn them. They just
Yeah.
didn't see it. Yep. All right,
Okay.
so that was our. Oh, we gotta raise our glass. We gotta finish
Oh,
this panel the way
yes.
we always do.
Thank you guys for joining us. We will have more Walking Dead panels tomorrow. One more
more, yeah.
tomorrow
One more.
in the morning, and we're doing Game of Thrones at 6 o'clock for
Next
anybody
door.
who's a Game of Thrones
Next
fan.
door.
Right next door. And now our panel has ended.
Also, if you want to rate us on the Comicpalooza app, there's an app, especially if you have an iPhone, you can give us a rating, a 1 or a 5. I won't ever know.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know how we did. We have flyers up here. We have a fan table. You want to come chat with us later?
Or if you want to check out any of our reaction videos, I drink a lot in the season finale of Game of Thrones.
Oh, my. You had 10 shots.
I have 10 Jello shots because I swore that the wall would come down.
Drink
and
a
it
lot.
did
Not even.
This is awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.